Yeah, bang bang rail. Mickey Green, Chelmsford prison. I went to Chelmsford prison about what 75, 76, something like that, 77, something like that. And I was on the right hand side on the twos or the ones, and Mickey Green was opposite me. He was next door to a guy called Tony Edlin. Him and Tony Edlin was very solid. They was always cooking, always cooking. I mean, Mickey Green was the richest man, I should imagine, in Chelmsford prison, in any prison at that time. I think when he died, Mickey Green had about 75 million, 80 million. Big drug lord, Mickey Green, massive drug lord. But he didn't get linked for drugs at that time. He wasn't involved with drugs. I don't think he even knew what drugs was at that time, yeah. I think he got done with the Wembley lot, Bertie Smalls, Jimmy Wilkinson, Dave Delaney, all that lot. I think Brian Turner as well, I'm not quite sure. They all got nicked for that super guys. It was so that was a bad thing. Bertie Smalls, yeah. I think Mickey Green got 19 years, 20 years. They all got big bird. I know that for that Wembley mob. They had lots of money, mate. They had fortunes, and they didn't find no money at all. So Mickey Green was heavy on that scene. He got when he come out. I think when he come out of prison years later, end of the 70s, I think it was. I met him. I think it was late. Anyway, I met him. Not Mickey Green. I met Ronnie Dark. He used to work with the geezer called Ronnie Dark. Yeah, not the Ronnie Dark that Bindon stabbed. I got mixed up, over cougar hands and all that. But Ronnie Dark and Mickey Green were involved in the big cougar hand swindle, a VAT swindle, where they was getting cougar hands flying over, and then melting them and selling them to all the Indians in Southall. Well, Ronnie Dark, believe it or not, he was close to me, yeah. He liked me, and I was a big lump, and he wanted me to get involved with him in working with his gold cougar hands and bits and pieces. But what he wanted me to do, he wanted me, when they took the gold to the Indians and sold it to the Indians, he wanted me, with other people that I was around at that time, to go into the shops and take the gold back, because they used to melt the cougar hands down in bars, yeah. But once they delivered it all, they wanted me to come in there and take it all back. Yeah, fair play to them, mate. But something happened. I got nicked again for something stupid. I think we got nicked down in my road when I got a guy with a baseball bat, and I got put away. It ruined it all, yeah. But Ronnie Dart was my mate, yeah, Ron. Fair play to Ron. I like to Ronnie Dart. They're all back memories, isn't it? When he's, talking about Mickey Green. And Mickey Green, he's Irish. He is Irish. Irish content. Anyway, you know what I'm on about. His family are Irish. He's more or less Irish, isn't he? But he had a big club. He lived in Harrow, but he had a big club in Harrow. Just by the round, there's a big, massive roundabout. I forget the road now. It was a big pride of shops, and he had a club there. And me and my mate Danny Williams used to go to the club. I was only young. Met Mickey Green. Met Jimmy Wilkinson there. Bertie Smalls. I think Brian Turner was there, Dave Delaney. There was most of them armed robbers was in that club, yeah. And I was only a boy, you know what I mean? But I remember it so well going to that club in Harrow, yeah. And Mickey Green was a proper businessman, mate. He had fortunes. They called him a pimpernel, didn't they? Is it the pimpernel they called him? But he was in Chelmsford prison. Mickey Green wasn't a gangster. Well, he was a gangster. Yes, he was a gangster. I can't say he wasn't a gangster. Yes, he was a gangster. Got done with armed robberies and all that, and cougar hands and a big drug baron. But Mickey Green wasn't a person that caused aggro. He didn't need to. He had so much money, and there were so many people in Chelmsford prison that if he needed to get anything sorted, he would get it sorted in the way that he would get hold of Togie Ludlow. I mean, a lot of things have been said about Togie. Yes, they are true, but no one knew nothing at that time, yeah? But he'd get hold of Togie, he'd get hold of Mickey Blackmore, you know, and they would do the business. Mickey Blackmore was a very, very dangerous man. And he was with, I don't forget, Terry Milne was around that time. Terry Milne was dangerous, a very dangerous man. And you got, as you say, you got Togie, you got that little Dave Potter, you got Terry Millman, and you got Mickey Blackmore. Watkins, I think Watkins was on B wing, was on the other wing, but he was always walking around with Mickey Green around the exercise yard when we was playing. Mickey Green was a good footballer. He loved football. Yeah, he loved these. It's crazy, isn't it, that all these. I mean, I was involved on GBH with tent at that time, but all these armed robbers have got planners of dough. They always get involved with some sort of sport, like Ronnie Bender. He was called the captain because he got involved with the rugby, he got involved with the football, and he just loved that sort of thing. So Mickey Green, he done fortunes in Chelmsford prison, in Ronnie Bender's card school. I'd see Mickey Green bet 500-600 quid at a time, and that was a lot of money. You're talking about the 70s. Do you know what I mean? A lot of money, and he gambled, man. Loved gambling. And there was quite a few people, as I say, in Chelmsford prison who had a lot of money, but Mickey Green was the one who was absolutely corrupt, Keiko. And then he gets involved. He becomes a big drug baron, Mick. Massive, yeah. And they're all looking for him, everywhere looking for him. France, America, they're all looking for Mickey Green. What Mickey Green bad is involved in the card sale, drug card sale, cocaine, everything. Mafias and all them sort of things. He's very heavy, Mickey Green, and you know, and I liked him, Mickey Green, as a person, a nice person, mate. You could talk to him, but I was a little bit gutted. Him and Tony Edlin, very, very close. They was like brothers. They was always into cells together. They was next door together. They had the food together. Tony cooked food with me. Mickey Green could cook. Do you know what? Seriously, I've only ever seen Togie Ludlow and that little firm get involved down the kitchen. They smashed someone to pieces over cooking. But that was over Mickey Green. Mickey Green had two pots on the cooker. They used to put their pots on the cooker, you know, at night. So in the daytime, like no one can move it, they knew it's there, yeah? So this geezer come in, a bit flash, thought he was a chap, moved Mickey Green's pots and put his own pots there. So when they come down, Mickey Green's pots weren't there, his other geezer's pots was there, so Mickey Green took them off and put his own pots back. And so when the guy come down, he dug Mickey Green out really, really bad. He dug him out, man. I can remember it as if like it was yesterday. He dug Mickey Green. I was up on the landing looking over it because I looked over the kitchen as such, yeah. Mickey Green was having a go at this guy. This guy was having a go at Mickey Green. He was pointing at Mickey Green like that. Togie Ludlow come in with I think it was Terry Millman. I'm not quite sure. He come in, mate. Listen to me. He smashed this geezer to pieces. They hit him with a pot. They hit this geezer with a big pot over the head, mate. This geezer hit the floor, and Togie steamed at this guy with Terry Millman. I think Mickey Blackmore was the one that done him with the hot water. I'm not quite sure. It was one of them three that done the geezer on the floor with the boiling hot water. It was in a pot. They just tipped it on him. And mate, this geezer screams. They smashed him to pieces, but no one got nicked over it. The screws come, distracted the geezer out. I think in Chelmsford prison there was a lot of skullduggery goes on in there with the screws and the cons. A lot of money passed hands. You could see it. I mean, there's too much going on in there. Mickey Green. He didn't want. Well, of course he didn't want. He had bundles of dough. He didn't want for nothing. Honestly, he didn't want for nothing. He just had exactly what he wanted. Everything he got. I think he got released the end of 1970. I'm not quite sure. It wasn't Chelmsford prison. That was a fact because if it couldn't have been Chelmsford Prison because Chelmsford Prison got burnt down in '78. So I don't know if he went before that, Mick. I'm not quite sure, but I can remember him. I think in the visiting room, waiting to be transferred, and he might have got released from the next nick he went to. That was more like Wandsworth, I suppose. God, mate, when I can't that Wandsworth mate was too heavy, you know what I mean? When they all went up there, and it was like, oh, mate, there was murders there, yeah. But I think Mickey Green was one of the ones that went into one, if I can remember, but I might be wrong, yeah. But I know Mickey Green when they killed that taxi driver. I think it was over a car chase. I'm not quite sure what it was, but they killed the taxi driver, and Mickey Green was bank the whites, mate, and he paid a lot of money to the jurors, and got acquitted. There's a big thing about that, but he was so big by then, Mickey Green, big. Do you know? Remember that film called what was it called now? Sexy Beast with Ray Winston. Yeah, remember that film? That was based on Mickey Green, you know. That was based on Mickey Green. Yeah, seriously. That was based on Mickey Green, mate. Sexy Beast, because they called Mickey Green the Sexy Beast. Similar. Same thing, but they reckon that film was based on... But he played... Ray Winston played Mickey Green, really, in life, yeah? Yeah, mate. That was based on Mickey Green. And, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, like, to be with them people, you know, like I was... And I like Mickey Green, mate. He was a nice geezer. He was next door. I want to do another one maybe tomorrow. He was next door to the guy that I got involved with, my mate, Peter Lyons, yeah? Peter Lyons was a big man, very big, very powerful. In the rugby team, it was prop in me. And he was like always in Mickey Green's cell for tobacco and puff. And Mickey Green used to look after Peter, give him a little bit of puff here and there, a little bit of soaps, you know, and all that Moroccan. And he cussed Mickey Green, you know. He become, not at that time, but later on he became a big Moroccan dealer. Yeah, a big Moroccan dealer. I think they wanted him in Morocco. They wanted him bad in Morocco for drugs. He got involved with the cartel with cocaine, Mickey Green. Yes, with 75 million. Fair play to him, mate. And they never found a penny. They never ever found a penny. They reckon that Mickey Green had all his money hid in the hills, in his villa, near his villa, because he lived in the hills, didn't he? Oh, he had a good life, mate. He had what any bird he wanted, he had. About money, mate, innit? You know what I mean? You can have anybody, and fair play to him, mate. Fair play to him, and to be in Mickey Green's company as a young kid in Chelmsford Prison is a nice thing, and to think that I can give a podcast or video about it, you know. And he was just a nice guy. Jimmy Tibbs. Him and Jimmy Tibbs was very close, and Ronnie Bender were very close to Mickey Green. There was always having cups of tea, coffees, and all that, having good chats about things, you know, more like your business, yeah. But Ronnie Bender, Mickey Green, very close. Always card school. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Radio. It's about me, old mate Mickey Green. Please give me a like and subscribe, and have a nice day. Yeah, nice one.